here we are, that's onto the weapon, no problem. That's now onto the hands, no problem. Across and onto the weapon, no problem. Hi all, Mark here with the Exiles, hope you're safe and well. Today I'm joined again by John from Exiles Barking, one of our senior members down there, and in this video I would like to cover the 7th play of Gioco Stretto, which is an arm wrap, okay, from a cover, sword in 2 hands now. From an arm wrap, we're basically just going to be wrapping whatever we can find on the end of our arms, okay, because there's a couple of plays that are very similar. So, we'll do it this side first. Gioco Largo, I'm the one defending, so John will be attacking me. We're both stepping in with the right foot because we want this to be a close play. This setup is a little bit artificial, like with all the videos, because to demonstrate the technique, obviously we're setting it up very cleanly, okay? I've made my cover. The advice I'm given is with cover, push the arms within a crease and to wrap, okay? So in this instance, I'm wrapping onto his arms, okay? The reason why I'm wrapping onto his arms is because I was a bit close, okay? If I'm a bit further away, well, I'm covering, I'm wrapping here, and I'm grabbing hold of the quillon, okay? It's really important this, because in the heat of the moment, you don't necessarily get to decide how close or far away your opponent decides to be at, okay? So we need to prepare for multiple eventualities, which is the reason why we have a couple of different variations of this play. If the arms are there, wrap them. If the weapon is there, wrap them. But if you're wrapping the weapon, it can happen for 2 reasons. The first reason is because we're too far away, okay? I'm here, I'm displaced. His point is forward, but my right foot is forward. I could still action a Largo play from here. I could grab the weapon, whatever. But we're too committed, we're too deep. Now, if John is leaning onto that a little bit, I'm going to use my arm, and I'm going to wrap, okay? Now, really important, I'm going to grab a hold of his quillon, his cross, okay, to stop him pulling a potentially sharp sword out. I also am maintaining control from here. So if we set that up again, we're here, I'm pushing, wrapping, look, I've got hold of that, pulling the weapon out, and I've got control. And obviously I'm not going to stay there. As soon as my swords come out, I'm thrusting. If he goes to cover it, I'm cutting, and whatever. But the quillon control is really important, okay? If you don't get that quillon control, you will get into another play, which is what happens when the person pulls their arms out. We might cover that in a moment. If I'm closer, I'm here, now the sword is too extended. It's going to be very clunky for me to wrap that, however I can get to it, okay? So what I'm going to do, cover the arms, and I'm going to wrap the arms, okay? Now from here, this is definitely better done with some kind of protection on, because you can potentially catch the quillon in the ribs. Either way, I only need to maintain control just long enough to thrust or to strike, to pommel strike, whatever, okay? And this is very similar to what Fiore gives us in another play, where he's bound the person up and he says to just keep hitting them, basically, which is hopefully you can see how you would get to that from that wrap. So if we swap sides, the point of this and the point with all of these is that I'm trying not to sort of preempt the play that I want to do. That's not how fighting works. I made the cover, I should have lots of options, okay? But my training tells me which option to apply based on all the different visual stimuli and parameters that I've built up over time. So I'm here, we're in. From here, straight away, I'm telling you, I'm going to just wrap the sword, okay? Because I wasn't close enough. I didn't need to push at the arms. I didn't need to do that through a cover, which is what we're told. If I'm a bit closer, perfect. From here, it's too long for me to wrap, but I can still wrap the weapon. So I'm going to cover it onto the weapon, pulling my sword out, and there you go. I only need to maintain control long enough to hit him. If I'm deeper still, here you go. Now, point is high, I've got all of this, but I can't wrap it. His hands are across my body. It's very hard to push at them, so I'll just wrap them. There you go. I'll just wrap them, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm pulling out to. So that's the play. We're going to go and put masks on, do it under a little bit of pressure, because we haven't done this for 18 months, and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to do it under a bit of pressure, a little bit of speed. So what we're going to do though is, rather than focus just on the 7th play of Stretto, which is obviously the wrap, we're going to basically look at a couple of different plays, because when we're training, what we should be doing is accessing the play that's right. So if I have committed too deep, or John has stepped in a bit too far, then I'm going to access a different play. I'm going to try and wrap the arm each time. And what we'll do after this is we'll get back onto the concrete and I'll explain to you the decision-making process. So we're just going to go through this because we haven't done it for such a long time. So I'm going to come from high first because that's my preference. So here we are, that's onto the weapon, no problem. That's now onto the hands, no problem. Across and onto the weapon, no problem. And now I'm going to come from low because that's what I like to do. One more for good measure. Okay, a little bit on the decision-making process then. I've tried to angle this so you can see what's going on. So you only need to see the hands really. So we've both come in, okay? At the beginning of the video I said that generally I want John to attack me. We could have been attacking each other and just found ourselves here. So that's not an exclusive setup. In either case, from this position, his point is forward, but it's extended, okay? And because his hands are in the middle and there's no pressure going on, he's not pushing forward, he's not doing anything else, I've got the time to reach over with the push and the offline movement, and I've got time to wrap the weapon and grab hold of the quillon, okay? Which is 7th play. If we're in Incrusada and his point's high, but I'm nice and deep down onto the strong, okay, I can't reach over with any degree of success onto the weapon now. So I have to then look at basically wrapping the arms. It's the same principle, but I'm basically pushing the arms and then I'm wrapping the arms, okay? And if we've met Incrusada, but his point is forward and low, then I'm not pushing at anything. I don't need to push at anything. I don't need to reach over. I don't need to come underneath. I don't need to do it from a push, a cover, as Fiore suggests. From here, I can just wrap the hands. The sword. Okay, I don't need to push or anything like that. Now, there's a small thing which is around how people naturally react. So if we meet Incrusada and John's hands are over here, automatically, because he's trained all this so much, he's thinking of the first play of Stretto, okay? Now, the reason why that's on for him and not for me is because he's slightly to my right, okay? I'm to his left. So, with this play, okay, I'm gonna stop him doing that with this cover, okay? So I know as soon as I land, his fists, I can see them. I can think, fuck a duck. He can absolutely apply that play, or a couple of plays. So I'm here, look, and as he's pushing, I'm just getting this wrap, no problem, okay? So in a kind of intermediate to advanced way, there's also a counter to just a little bit of supplemental information. So that's that. I hope it was useful. Thanks to John for being a willing volunteer, and until the next one.